So for Sprint 5, I first caught up from Sprint 4. So first I finished up my Impidable manager. I was doing it kind of wrong before by making a manager for every game object per key instead of by key. So now when I register a new key, it checks to see if there's already a manager, single key manager with that key. If there is, it adds it. Otherwise, I create a new single key manager, and then got my processes and register. I check for duplicates to make sure there's no double key managers, and then my single key manager just has the check key, and it calls the key pressed and key released on all of its markers that it's got. Got my remove and all that stuff. Very similar to everything else we've been doing. It goes through the command pattern. Then we have the game object lifecycle. I created a factory for the ship, which is kind of like what I'll be shooting during my game that I've created. So I will show off that this works properly with recycled items, and it's deleting and everything. When I play it, and then the camera manager, I moved into the scene. So we've got my scene manager now, just has my get current camera, set camera, and then it's got all of the camera stuff, the default camera setup up here, so that it sets the camera. Then we had to create the time manager, which is right here. Also pretty simple, just a singleton that keeps track of the time. Then for Sprint 5 we had the freeze time. So we've got this freeze time here, which is just this hack thing that you gave us. And then in my time manager I get the frozen time in seconds. I'm using F10 and F11. F10 freezes and F11 goes frame by frame. And then next we had to do the scene changing. So my scene manager has the ability to change scenes, so I can set a new scene. But to set a new scene, first you have to the player can set the new scene change. So they don't actually call set new change, they call set scene change, which goes through the command pattern. And then I can process elements and register in here. I just put it all into the same manager. So the player calls the new scene change with their scene that they want it to change to, and it goes through command pattern so that when I get to the scene's update, I can call that last, so that everything finishes processing for that frame, and then nothing gets stuck in the middle and crashes. And then it creates the new scene and gets removes everything from the old scene. And last, we had to make some sort of game to start showing off our engine. So I've got this house that moves around, and then I can shoot ships out of it. The ships are recycled, so you can see every time I shoot, it says I've shot a new recycled ship, and then it recycles the ship after 4 seconds. So they have like a 4-second timer on them. The sphere is disappearing and appearing because I have a repeating alarm on the house that registers and deregisters that sphere from the scene. So I've got that going on, so I can just shoot a bunch, move around. I can choose many of these things that I want and just spam it everywhere. And then if I hit P, even if there's a bunch of these on the screen, this is my second scene. So I just had I put some other game objects in there just to show that it's a different scene. But I can move around. If I shoot ships, it's just using recycled ships because I didn't delete all those ships in between scenes. And then I've still got my repeating alarm and all that stuff, and I can just keep redoing this scene if I wanted to. I just hit P and it creates the second scene that's attached to the house. And then I've got my, I can freeze step through frames with F11. And yeah, that's my Sprint 5.